Welcome again. Leo niko na Brian Paul, co-founder of Studio19. Brian Paul also used to co-found Fast and Fresh, lakini Brian pia nifanya naye kazi Buni kwa kipindi cha miaka kadhaa, supporting early stage businesses and entrepreneurs. Na kazi kubwa ambayo tulikuwa tunafanya pale ni kusikiliza idea tu za vijana. We aren't an expert, we're just enjoying the process. Fast forward 7 or 8 years later, niko hapa na Brian and we're still talking about innovation and entrepreneurship and co-founding businesses. It seems like ndo maisha yetu tumechagua. Brian, karibu sana. So just please introduce yourself in a very short way and then I'll jump straight to the question, which is, if you're advising a new founder right now, a startup founder, to go through your past and what you have learned, what would be your first advice?
My name is Brian, and definitely I'm from Studio19. And just very shortly, I'm a business person. Business animates me big time. The fact kwamba na exchange a service or a good for cash, like someone sees value in what I'm actually creating, gives me so much joy. Now, I think part of it ni kwa sababu I'm so animated with the fact kwamba ukiangalia like all our background, most of us tumeishi katika mazingira ambayo it's really like a poor background. Kwa hiyo so many of the things in it, we actually usually look at shortcuts. What's the easy way of doing this? What's the easy way of doing that? Yes. And all these limitations. Lakini something about, even right now I'm still working on it, is how do I change that, and how do I start consciously creating value? How do I, kwenye kila kitu, whether it's a service, whether it's a product, to me is how do I do it in a way that someone will see value in it in a way ambayo they'll be willing to part away with money. Now, of course, because our country is not very rich, but if somebody is willing to buy something from me, I'll continue perfecting that. And that is something that animates me.
Okay. And now, a lot of young people are working on this. They believe they are amazing ideas. And one of the biggest challenges is to create that unique value proposition. That's something which either makes them stand out au kitu ambacho kweli kinampa mtu ile consumer willingness ya kuingia mfukoni na kulipia hela. How do you identify that? Like, how do you design a business to such an extent inafika kwenye level ambayo people actually see value ya kulipia either the service or the product to buy?
Now, of course, this is all just very biased on myself and my experience. Like, I think I remember at Tukubuni, one of the things we were asking ourselves is, a lot of people wanakuja na these ideas. Now, ideas is where everything starts. You actually start with an idea, and then badai, you need to very quickly start understanding kwamba you need to validate it. Now, validation isn't how many people are clapping hands, isn't how many people are saying, this is the best idea ever. And especially katika our ecosystem, bado hatuna like a lot of, let's say, angel investment ambao watu wanaweza put it in money. Even though that, on the other side I'll say maybe there is, lakini not many of us from day one look at is this something, is this value? And value not for me. Hiyo mara nyingi huwa tunafanya vitu for us. Is it value for the person I am taking this thing to? And it is value, it's not just value, high value. Kwa sababu mfano kama mimi na matatizo, so let's say right now I have just too many problems. Ukiniambia to part away with money, I look at what is the most pressing. Those are the things ambazo I'm actually willing to put in money. Vingine is like by the way, if it doesn't happen, it's okay. It's not the end of the world.
It's about eating or watching Netflix.
Maybe fighting. Nakumbuka there's this time. Now this is wakati kuboni where people will come with like ideas kama ATM locator. Not bashing them. Not bashing them. Lakini bado, I think one of the things even to ourselves, like I said, now this is even at Studio19, we constantly are challenging ourselves. How do we come up with better solutions to challenges.
Yeah.
And always look at the other person who you're solving the problem for. Na kitu ambacho mara nyingi tumekuwa tukijiambia ni first of all it needs to be something that you care about. Kwa hiyo even internally how over time we'll start structuring it ni give the people who care about these problems the necessary tools for them to fix it. Kwa sababu kama you care about it mara nyingi kwa sababu then ukiwa unafanya analysis you'll at least, kwa sababu one of it ni kwamba you deeply care about that issue. So I think even it comes to like team structuring, who is solving what problem, then it needs to be the people who cares most about that problem should solve that problem. And no matter hata, remember the last time it was wakati Koboni we were asking these questions, even though wakati ule ilikuwa just based on stuff we were reading, stuff that we were reading like it's you can't overemphasize enough kwamba bwana any changamoto any problem it just depends on what perspective we're looking at it. It can be big or small. So the people who care most about a certain issue, to me they should solve that issue. Eventually most of us tunafanya vitu for ourselves. Come on. Now it's a bad thing. It's part of it is a good thing. Again, it's just you kwamba look, kama I'm actually doing something then nisijaribu kusolve sijui issue ya sijui ya wakulima sijui nini huko wakati
there's so many things you face in the office.
I don't even have the connection. Then I'm like, okay, I'll ask, what is the connection between you and the people that you're solving this problem with? If there's no connection, I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's going to be very hard.
Very, very hard. Yes. Very, very hard. At least you should bring close someone who actually understands the context, the co-founder who has been part of that process. No, that makes a lot of sense. So many times we have been having this conversation about startup founders. And you've founded a couple of startup companies, you've worked with startup founders for so long, and one of the challenges that we are seeing right now is the so-called positive distractions. I know I've been talking about this a couple of times, me and you. As a founder, how do you realize what is an opportunity for your business, and what is a distraction, and how should you keep yourself able to stay focused?
Okay. So something that personally that I feel it's important for people to understand. Kwanza is to decide whether it's a distraction or not distraction. In any, you have to have a certain framework that you're using to say, "Bona, this is yes, this is no," right? And mara nyingi it needs to come down to you. So a lot of the times nikifikiria, let's say a university student, nakumbuka niko O level, and I used to ask my brother, so my brother is a doctor. Last year he saw me medicine, and of course, he is a doctor, right? the best This is the best thing. And then I kept asking a lot of people, and then they're like, lakini economics inalipa kinoma. So a lot of us, even business is the same way. If you get a person like me who's like so animated about business, what I'll tell you, do business. Lakini after a while, I came to realize kwamba all of these things ambazo tunazifanya, they take us from point A to point B. The most successful people are the ones who are very clear at what is point A and what is point B, and they are constantly pursuing it. Ukiangalia, I don't know, even the likes of, a lot of musicians, a lot of athletes, a lot of all of this. These guys from very early stage, yani wameamua kwamba bana mimi nataka niende hapa. Kwa hiyo they're not looking at what is not possible, they're looking at what is possible. As a lot of us for a long time we haven't been trained to do that. A lot of time tunaangalia outside, and to me it's very important for a person, whether you're doing business, plus unafanya job, plus unafanya, it doesn't matter whether you're farming. First thing is defining where are you going.
Yeah.
So and then tofautisha tools na destination. So a tool will be, to me, a business is a tool.
Is a tool. Yeah.
A job is a tool. So everything, money and all of these things are actually tools. So the first thing is like, I'll decide, okay, what is my actual vision? And then once I'm very clear, so even to attract another person, I need to tell them where I'm going. And unless we're just mobs and then.
But if it's a team with a shared vision, they need to understand.
They need to understand. And especially for a founder. Watu wengine you can get away with it. Like founders, you need to attract the team, you need to attract money, you need to attract clients, you need to build your team have focus. How do you do all of that? You're not very clear. This is one thing I'm actually going to do. Yeah. This is what this thing that I'm building, this business is going to move from here to there. You might not know exactly how it's going to do it, and I think that's actually what we are doing every day. Like you're very clear this is the vision of the thing I'm actually building, and then now you start moving backwards. Okay, for me to reach there, who do I need? Which at myself, I have this kind of skill set. Who do I team up? So niki team up na a person, the first thing is we need to at least share the vision. And personally, what we have been doing even at Studio19 is try to also align the vision of the people who are coming in and the vision we have. And we are trying always is to see this thing has to work for them as well. If it doesn't work for them, for example, just building the whole business is just hard by itself.
Yeah.
The last thing I want is pulling people. No. I should from day one know look, we all know where we are going. We don't know the path. And we actually don't know. Like we are all sure, and we are sure in terms of not just like how it will benefit you, how it will benefit me. And I think that's one thing about, I remember even when we were at Boni, you find groups of people coming, like 7, 10, and then they are building up and then just short maybe a week. I'm like, okay, sawa. It's not possible. But then there needs to be like some really big gap in terms of them really trying to understand. If it's really, it's easier. Maybe mkiwa watatu is easier. Mshakuwa wengi, then they need to be.
It's possible to have a shared vision.
Yes.
But is it possible to have a shared purpose?
What's the definition?
So, if you have a shared vision, we want to move from point A to point B with a very clear mission statement. We want to achieve objective this, objective this, so that collectively this objective should make us to reach there. Now, the purpose is what makes you wake up. Maybe my purpose is to build a legacy. My purpose is to have a passion for this.
And maybe when I even say vision, to me, I mean a bit broader than zile statements ambazo zinakuwa tumeweka.
You just write them.
This is what we do. When I think of vision, it's the things I value, where I want to be when. What do I want to leave behind?
Does it include needs and expectations?
It definitely has to. Even timelines.
Yeah.
And it actually has timelines kabisa kwamba in a business, this tool I'm picking right now, this business, I want by let's say 5 years to be able to sell it. And kwa sababu you need to articulate that very well. So isije kwa mwenzako ana build for legacy.
Unauza baada ya miaka mitano. Like what?
Yeah.
I'm done with venture naenda Brazil kulala.
You'll crash. But it needs to be very clear kwamba guys, this is what we are building. And are we okay with it? Kama mtu hayuko okay, well, it's not the end of the world. Like, okay, if you're not okay, so what can be okay?
Can we pivot?
Yeah,
can we do this?
like maybe there is a compromise. Yeah, you have to. And I think the purpose you're talking about is the reason why I wake up. And to me, the reason why I wake up is only if what I'm doing covers so much of what is my expectation, then it gives me the reason to wake up.
Okay.
Kama just kwamba, look, let's say an example, we want to transform the artist industry to this. That is great. Lakini what is in for you?
Yeah.
If there is no that connection, kama hamna that connection, people will do it until when the wheels falls off.
But now let me ask you the difficult one. Now we talk a bit about team. Now, how do you, as a founder, push this, whatever you call it, vision, goal, whatever, this the common goal, common shared vision to others, so that they can understand and align with you? How can you practically do that?
And I can share what we do.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if that's
that works. That's a good way on that. Okay.
Like the thing ambayo over time I've come to come in terms with ni kwamba kila mtu ana where they want to go, right? So I want also the organization to work for the people who are going to be part of it. So whoever who is going to be part of it, I want the organization to work for them as well. And it's not what the organization will get out from the people, is what the people will get out from the organization, right? Even sometimes, I am actually terrible at firing. Like after sometimes, actually, if you're keeping a person that relationship is not working, inawezekana maybe yeye ni tairi la ndege, lakini your company is a bicycle. Kwa hiyo unaweza kuona kwamba ni chai, this guy is not going fast and things like that. But he's meant to do bigger things than what your organization is offering, right? Kwa hiyo for keeping him there, you're also doing not justice to him. So to kwamba yeye to your organization, for your organization to him as well. For you, it needs to work both ways. That's
actually, kwenye nini anaita, that book is very interesting actually. Jack Welch, wanaita Street MBA or something. He talks about that in a very, very detailed and broader way. He has this theory of like, I think it's 10, 70, 20. Like you have the most precious people at the 10 or 20%, and then you have 60 normal guys, and then you have the 20 which you have written up to fire. And that is what used to do at General Electric. And now it resonates with me. And one of the things he says is, he actually say what you're saying, you're not just damaging your own company, you are damaging their career too, because they have a better chance to excel somewhere. It's just they don't resonate with what you guys are doing. It's a very important point, I think.
I can give you an example. For a long time, even when we were doing hiring, we were asking this question: can you work under pressure? And then if somebody says no, we're like, okay, maybe that is not a good thing. Again, these days it's like, actually, it might be a strength, because most of the people who work well under pressure, they are terrible at planning. Kwa sababu dude, pressure ikiwepo, I can survive. I can survive. Kwa hiyo, unless they're very good at planning, like in most of the people that I've met,
who work under pressure,
they're not very good at planning.
They can't strategize.
Like the people who don't work under pressure, they're extremely well at planning, kwa sababu they know I can't handle. Kwa hiyo, actually, it's not even it's not a matter of strength and weakness. It's just different ways of doing things. Kwa hiyo, wakati tuna build the team, we need to balance people up. Balance people ambao can work well under pressure, and the people who can't, kwa sababu wataanza ku complement each other. So even the same thing, hata hivyo kwamba inawezekana maybe they don't work well with you, it doesn't mean they're useless. No, they haven't, their pieces haven't matched. And that's why even your point here, making sure kwamba you know exactly what where you're going, and you're very clear. For example, even when you're picking a person, you know exactly kwamba, this person, this is where they're going to fit. This is something we can experiment on. hata kama it doesn't work, I'm like, well, maybe it doesn't work this direction. Kama tunaenda Mbeya, oh, maybe wewe unaelekea Tanga. So ukifika pale nini, drop off. Because your direction is different. It's not about yani me kwamba I'm bad or you are bad. No. It's just that we're going different directions. And it's okay. And it's no hard feelings, bro. Yeah.
So I've sit down with so many people, and I think one of their strengths is learning, whether it's reading books or introducing yourself to new things. If you are to advise a new founder, what is the most important? Like, why is so crucial for them to constantly relearn and learn new things while they're building their businesses?
And yes, and I think I'm not even learning enough. Maybe I should. Like
no, the moment you feel you're learning enough, you're no longer learning. That's the point.
That's true. Yeah. Like so I'm very interested in books, and not just like the books I do for fun. Like for personal development, to me, it's something that someone you have to really invest in it, and especially if you choose yourself to be a leader. And to me, any person who's out there starting something, you're doing a path ambayo maybe a lot of us are not experienced, so you have to be a learning machine.
Wow, a learning machine, not just a learner.
Kwa sababu the best way to learn personally, I think it's tagging along with people who know what they're doing.
Okay.
Kwa mfano kama if I had to pick someone to teach me, I'll pick, like, let's say Baresa, like Model. I'll pick those people. Lakini pia I know kwamba they won't have the time, right? So what's the even better way? There are people out there that they have. So what in the process of writing a book? You take, they go through thorough, and then they go through reviews. So this is like a very, and in come village, like, let's say, someone, I'll come to me, learn for a day, and then someone tells you come and then tag along with me for 10 years, but that whole 10 years, I can do it in a book.
It's like having that Baharesa delivered in a book.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, to me, if you think of books, it's a knowledge of someone that has taken maybe 10 years, 15 years to learn.
Condensed in a few pages.
Condensed to a few pages. And to me, it's a privilege kwamba someone even is willing to write. To write that for you. Yeah. And you're just paying, if you nikifikiria vitabu, 15K. I need to pay this guy maybe billions.
Yeah.
Like this person, and I condense that to a 15,000. Like, to me, it's like, okay, man, and if I don't read it, if clearly I'm invested in my own learning, and there's a person that kabisa I want to learn from them, and they've written a book, I'm like, dude, the least I can do is read it, and I'll pick what I want. Like, it's really, you need to expose yourself with learning. There's nothing more important, especially for a founder, I'll say.
Yes. So for those who don't know, this is the guy who got me to read books back in 2014. I just used to listen to audio and watch YouTube videos. Yeah, so another thing which is very important, some people, they might not know this, focus, which means Brian focusing, bromphobia, I don't know, there's so many brokers, and which one are you using for running now?
So I have like a brompothon or something.
Brompothon, which means Brian's on, okay. Discipline, man. So every time I look at Strava, I see 10 kilometers. Like, okay, there's something wrong with this nigga. This is a 10 kilometers in a week. How you as a startup founder maintains that discipline? Not only discipline on your business, discipline in engaging with your client and potential partners that you work with. How do you maintain that social, cultural, professional discipline, and why is it important? How do you practically start to maintain 10 kilometers in a week, 3 times, 4 times on Strava?
Let me share with you a story that I picked up from this book called Why Small Businesses Fail and What to Do About It.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy alikuwa anasema kwamba um, a lot of us tunafanya vitu using emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Kwa hiyo today I'm feeling happy, I'll do the good work. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Today I'm not feeling happy, I will not do good work.
Mm-hmm.
Lakini ukisha one of the things ambayo we need to start understanding is it's not about you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about today I'm actually having a good mood, I'll do this. Tomorrow I don't have a good mood, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
And to me that is it's understanding kwamba it's like a doctor. Doctor ukiwa una operate. It's not because you're in a good mood today, you're doing a best operation. Tomorrow you're in a bad mood. It's not like that. And to me it's everything is like that. Everything is we need just to be professional.
Yeah.
And professional is like those athletes out there. You do it whether you like it or not. Whether you're not feeling it or it's not about you. And the quicker I think to me one understands what Achaku separate those things, the better you become, and especially to me as and not even just business, even work.
Yeah.
Best employees are the people who consistently deliver results.
Yeah.
So one thing that I started looking at is what tool, what is something that I can practice that will test my discipline. And to me, exercising, waking up at like 5 in the morning every single day, and there's this time I do like challenges, like let's say I run for 14 days consecutively, do like at least one extra day. Like the whole thing is I want to train my mind. Kwamba, it's not about how I feel. I want to be able to produce consistent results regardless, and your mind gets it afterwards. It's like, dude, this guy.
When I started running, my mind was like, you're definitely gonna stop in the next second kilometer. This shit gonna kill you. Stop this stupidity. Why doing this? Why doing this?
There's so many other things you could be doing.
Nobody's watching you. You can literally walk now. Nobody's watching, and then eventually, like, oh my god, I have to do it. But if you do it, and then you start to become insane. It start to be part of you. I remember 2 weeks ago the first my wife gave to me when it was like around 10 p.m. I was like, I feel like I'm gonna land right now.
It's like, what the hell is going on? Dude,
are you sure this is running?
I've gone out running at 2 a.m. in the morning. And then I receive calls from my family. It's like, dude, 2 a.m.? What is going on? Okay. I knew you loved running. Like at 2 a.m.? So picking up on...
How do you bring this discipline now into business as a founder?
Yes, and I think one of the things is habits. Habits are very contagious. Like you can't... One of the things, you can't build too many habits at the same time. To me, concentrate on the things that... there's this line, I think you even talk about a lot, that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And I totally believe in it. If something is not a habit, it's very hard to get success if you don't build habits. Well, even business succeeding is about habits. It's not about which business has the best strategy. No, it's which business has the best culture. And culture is the habits that people do every day. Where I had to start picking up, okay, what are my habits? What are the habits that I want to learn? And one thing is, regardless of how smart you are, if you're weak, if you don't take care of your health, dude, you'll crumble. But I had to say, look, health is important to me. Okay, if it's important to me, I need to do exercise. So this is not. It's not just about me anymore. It's about me. It's about my business. But look, all of these things depends on my health.
On my health.
So even how hata kama niwe smart, needs to the best strategies.
But if I'm sick on the bed,
if you're sick, there's nothing you can do. Kwa hiyo, I had to say, look, this is important to me, and not just to me. This is important to the business that I'm actually building. This is important to my family. This is important to. So look, you need to wake up. So I had to build that as a habit, and everything. It's build them up as habits. So take everything and build up as a habit. An example will be, let's say, we're looking at very small thing. Kwamba we have ants in our kitchen, right? What can we do? And the quick example is tuchukue spray to polizie, but that's actually not. You're doing it once, they'll come back again. So my question will be, okay, what habits can I build to make sure that the ants don't come back? Yeah. So if you start asking yourself everything, will stop the quick fixes, and then really go down for permanent solutions. Where is the root of this thing?
You remind me, when we were in Form 4, tulikuwa get to madam mpaka likaleta nani wanaitoje wale wadudu wale wananyonya sana damu kunguni. And then we were actually killing kunguni instead of being clean.
Yes.
Because it's the whole consequence of kunguni. Great. So this was amazing. I was with Brian Paul, they say the founder of Studio19. It was an amazing experience to learn from him. You can follow Brian on Twitter, Brompo @Brompo, and you can again ask him questions through #AskBrompo kwenye mazungumzo ambayo tumeyafanya. Keep following our hashtag Startup School TZ. Until next session, please stay safe. #CovidD19. 1 meter.